Alright guys, for the first round, my opponent's first Pokemon is going to be a Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff being a fairy and normal type Pokemon, this is going to be a pretty even start for us. Wigglytuff, as you guys see, is doing way more damage with his fast move, but the upper hand for Azumarill is that our Play Rough and Hydro Pump will be charging up way faster than any of Wigglytuff's charge moves. So we are able to get my opponent's first shield there. Play Rough and Hydro Pump are going to be doing a good amount of neutral damage, most likely doing more than half damage of my opponent's health if it does go through. Since my opponent did already throw in one shield, I did decide to mirror that shield and throw in a shield on my Azumarill for myself. Play Rough is charged up. We are able to get to another excellent. This is going to be doing so much damage if it does go through, as you guys see there. From here, I do decide to let my Azumarill to actually go for the farm down and get ahead on energy, and then actually swap out into my Crustle. So then my Crustle is going to be getting ahead of energy, and my Azumarill will still be able to survive. My opponent's second Pokemon is going to be a Venusaur. Venusaur being a grass and poison type Pokemon, both of us are going to be doing neutral damage against each other. Grass types will be doing super effective damage against rock types, but not very effective damage against bug types. That will be causing neutral damage to occur. And rock types, we are just going to be doing neutral damage to both grass types and poison types. So this is going to be a pretty even matchup. So once again, my opponent does get to another charge move. Petal Blizzard is going to be coming out. Petal Blizzard would for sure have actually fainted my own Crustle, so good thing that I did have that actual final shield there to actually block that Petal Blizzard. Rock Blast is charged up and it does faint my opponent's Venusaur. A Hypno is going to be coming out. Hypno being a psychic type Pokemon, both of us are going to be doing neutral damage against each other. One more hit until I did get to that Rock Blast, but unfortunately that Hypno does get to farm down my own Crustle, and because of that my Altaria is going to be coming out. Another very unfortunate thing happened is that my opponent does have Ice Punch. Ice Punch being an ice type charge move, it is of course going to be doing double super effective damage against my own Altaria, and because of that the plan that I did actually have was to make that swap out into my Azumarill, so that my Azumarill will be able to tank that Ice Punch. And because of that my Azumarill did actually go down, which was okay because my Azumarill was already 1 HP, but because of that my Altaria did have enough HP to actually charge up to another Sky Attack that did ultimately end up winning the first round. Go game to my opponent. For the second round, my opponent's first Pokemon is going to be a Clefable. Clefable being a fairy type Pokemon, this is once again going to be an even start since both of us are going to be doing neutral damage against each other. I do know that Clefable does have access to Meteor Mash, and Meteor Mash being a steel type charge move, it would be doing super effective damage against my Azumarill if Azumarill was only a fairy type Pokemon, but since he does have that fairy type on him, then it is only going to be doing neutral damage, so I don't actually have to worry about that. My opponent does get to a charge move here, so I do decide to throw in my first shield, and I do know that if I do make a swap out into my Crustle, it will for sure go for the farm down and then give us a huge advantage. But my opponent was actually thinking the same thing, and he did make a swap out into a Magneton. Magneton being a electric and steel type Pokemon, we are going to be doing not very effective damage with all of our rock and bug type moves, but since I do only have rock type moves, I do just have to worry about that. But once again, he is going to be resisting all of our rock type moves. The rock types being not very effective against steel types, we are able to get to an excellence on that Rock Blast, which my opponent does decide to throw in his first shield for. I do know that Magnum Bomb will be able to instantly faint my own Crustle, so I do have to watch out for that. I do expect the Magnum Bomb to actually come out here. As you guys saw there, it did give an instant faint us, and from here I do decide to make a swap out into my Azumarill, get a few bubbles off to charge up to that Hydro Pump, and then throw it in. I do know that this will definitely faint my own or my opponent's own Magneton, and from here I do decide to just allow my Azumarill to get as much damage off as possible, and then I do know that he is actually going to be going down. And from here, I am going to be making a swap out into my Altaria and actually going for the farm down instead of charging up to the Sky Attack, since it will be a huge waste on energy and give us a huge advantage if we do actually go for the farm down here, because you are able to charge up to a good amount of Sky Attacks to actually do enough damage to whatever my opponent's Pokemon are going to be. The Magneton is once again going to be going down. The Clefable is also going to be coming out as well. There is going to be no point if I do throw in the Sky Attack, so I did just decide to go for the farm down as well. That was very risky, but it did pay off because my opponent's final Pokemon is going to be a Gligar. Gligar being a ground and flying type Pokemon, our Sky Attack is going to be doing so much neutral damage. Flying types being super effective against ground types and not very effective damage against flying types. That will be causing neutral damage to occur. Sky Attack is once again charged up. We are able to get to an excellent, doing enough damage for my own Altaria to actually go for the Dragon Breath farm down with 1 HP left, allowing us to win the second round. Good game to our opponent. For the third round, my opponent's first Pokemon is going to be a Snorlax. Snorlax being a normal type Pokemon, this is going to be an even start once again. Snorlax does not have any moves that are going to be doing super effective damage against my Azumarill. I do know that Snorlax plus Lick, and especially if he does have the charge move Body Slam, it is going to be doing a good amount of neutral damage against us. And as you guys see here, Play Rough is going to be charging up. We are able to get to an excellent that is going to be doing so much damage against my opponent's Snorlax, doing at least half health, as you guys see there. Snorlax's charge moves are going to be charging up way faster, but the thing is, Azumarill's charge moves are going to be hitting way more damage. So my opponent does get to another charge move right here. It is going to be another Body Slam that I do not have to worry about at all. If we do charge up to another Play Rough, it is still going to be doing a good amount of damage, but my opponent does make a swap out into a Stunfisk. Stunfisk being a ground and electric type Pokemon, this is going to play a pretty even startup or matchup, because both of us are going to be doing neutral damage with our fast moves, but my Sky Attack is going to be doing not very effective damage due to flying types being not very effective against like electric types. And my opponent, I do know, does have access to Discharge, and we are going to be getting hit by a Discharge right there that is going to be doing a good amount of neutral damage. That is why my opponent does have a bit of an upper hand right there, but my Sky Attack is charged up. It is going to be doing a good amount of damage, although it is going to be doing not very effective damage. As you guys see there, our Dragon Breath is going to be the one that my Altaria, for my Altaria to actually feint my opponent's Stunfisk. So I do just have to do the most damage with my Dragon Breath instead of actually focusing on the Sky Attack or Moonblast right there. But my Sky Attack is once again charged up. I do know that this is going to be doing enough damage to actually feint my opponent's Stunfisk if my opponent does decide not to throw in his shield, which he does. He does throw in his fake shield right there, and I do still have 2 shields left, which I am going to be throwing in. Both of us are very low. This just does come down to whoever gets the first feint first. So my opponent does decide to throw in his shield there, so I do decide to mirror it, and my Altaria is going to be able to go for the farm down. My opponent does make a swap out into a Snorlax, and that Snorlax is also going to be farming down my own Altaria. My Play Rough is charged up for my Azumarill, so I did decide to make a swap out into my Azumarill instead, and we will most likely not get a shield here, but if we do, we can infer that my opponent does have a Pokemon that is going to be weak to Azumarill. So as you guys saw there, he did throw in his shield, his final shield, in for a very low Pokemon, and Azumarill being a water and fairy type Pokemon, I am pretty sure that he does have a dark type Pokemon or a fire type Pokemon in the back that my Azumarill is going to be countering. That is why he did throw in a shield, and because of that, my opponent's final Pokemon is going to be an Alolan Marowak, which my own Crustle is going to be fully countering due to rock types being super effective against fire types, and because of that, did allow us to win the third round. Good game to our opponent.